There is no crown on this savanna that doesn't come at a price. Every kill leaves a mark, even on the ones who win. Some thrones are built on scars. Some rivals never learn to lose. And in Kruger, every reign eventually bleeds. Welcome back to Kruger National Park, the stretch of South African bush that gave the world the most watched wildlife footage in YouTube history. But that one video only scratched the surface of what actually happens here every single day. Out here, the fights never stopped, they just weren't all filmed. And most of them never made it past the tree line where a camera could catch them. Today, 5 collisions, 5 rivalries, none of them staged, none of them rare. One brutal truth connecting every single one. Nothing here rules for free, and every advantage eventually gets tested by something willing to call its bluff. Dusk, heat still radiating off the rocks along the riverbank. A young buffalo bull drifts from the herd, drawn toward a patch of green near the water. He doesn't notice the grass shifting behind him, 30 meters back, moving against the wind. 3 separate shapes converging without a sound. 3 lionesses are already in position. They don't rush. They crawl low, silent, closing the last 30 meters in near total stillness. Bellies pressed flat against the earth, eyes locked on a single point. Every muscle stays coiled, ready to release in one uninterrupted motion. The instant the distance closes enough, then they break. One clamps onto the throat, another leaps for the back. A third goes for the hindquarters, trying to hamstring him mid-stride. The bull staggers under nearly 600 kilograms of combined weight and does not go down. This is where most kills end. This one doesn't. The bull swings his head, horns catching one lioness across the ribs and throwing her clean off her feet, a sound like a dropped sack of stone. He drags the other 2 through the mud, refusing to collapse, refusing to stop moving his legs. Blood running freely down both flanks, his breathing turns ragged. Chest heaving, but his legs keep driving forward through the churned earth. Somewhere behind him, the herd hears it. 20 buffalo turn as one and thunder back toward the noise. Hooves shaking the ground hard enough to feel from 100 meters away. Dust rising in a thick brown cloud visible long before the animals themselves come into view. The lionesses scatter into the tree line, abandoning a kill that was already slipping through their claws. The bull, bleeding from a dozen wounds, disappears into the safety of 200 bodies moving as a single wall. swallowed whole by the herd he almost lost. Cape buffalo are one of the only prey animals on this continent that consistently fight back and win. A reputation earned over generations of exactly these kinds of encounters, repeated across every corner of this reserve. Kruger Rangers have documented bulls goring lions clean through the chest, crushing skulls with a single downward strike of the boss. The fused armor plating both horns that can withstand a direct hit without cracking, sometimes weighing more than 45 kilograms on a mature male. Old lions across this park carry the receipts, shattered jaws that never healed quite right, forcing an animal to hunt differently for the rest of its life. Blind eyes from a hoof that connected wrong during a chase gone bad, leaving a permanent gap in a predator's field of vision it can never fully compensate for. A pride male missing most of one ear, gored as a young nomad testing his first solo hunt years earlier. Long before he ever won territory of his own, wildlife vets who examine these animals during routine collaring operations describe buffalo-related injuries as some of the most severe they encounter in any predator on the reserve. Wounds that often shorten a lion's working life by years, sometimes ending a hunting career outright long before old age ever would have caught up with it anyway. Crown here was never free. Every lion wearing it is also wearing the marks of buffalo that almost killed it first. Scars it will carry for whatever's left of its life, a walking record of every gamble that nearly didn't pay off. Written directly into scar tissue, no amount of healing ever fully erases. But buffalo aren't the only ones capable of making a lion regret its own ambition. There's a giant in Kruger that most prides won't even glance at twice, and the rare exceptions that do are gambling with everything they have. An adult elephant can weigh 6 tons, skin nearly an inch thick, dense enough to shrug off most bites and claws that would open deep wounds in almost anything else on this reserve. A trunk strong enough to snap a grown tree in half without slowing down, containing more muscle than nearly any other single organ found anywhere in the animal kingdom. No single predator in Kruger challenges a healthy adult one-on-one. Not even close. For most of the year, elephants aren't prey. They're weather, something you plan around, not something you hunt. A presence every other species on the reserve simply learns to route past, adjusting entire migration paths rather than risk a confrontation nobody wins. Drought changes the map. During the harshest stretches of the dry season, when smaller prey thins out fast and waterholes shrink to muddy puddles barely worth the walk. Kruger's larger prides have been documented shifting their attention toward the herd's weakest members. A newborn calf, an old bull too slow to keep pace with the rest of the group, an animal already carrying an injury that slows every stride. This isn't confidence. It's desperation dressed up as strategy. Calculation made only when every easier option has already failed, and hunger has stripped away most of the usual caution a pride would otherwise show. A pride moves in at night, using darkness and numbers to cut one target away from the protective wall of trunks and tusks. The herd forms almost automatically. The instant danger is sensed on the wind. Communication between elephants runs through low frequency, rumbles too deep for most predators to detect. Warnings pass between adults long before a lion ever gets close enough to strike. A network of sound moving faster than any single lion can move across open ground. The calf screams once. That's all it takes. The matriarch doesn't calculate. She charges, ears flared, trunk raised, and a 6-ton body at full speed hits like a runaway truck, closing what looked like a safe distance in under 3 seconds. Lions caught too slow are tossed, gored, trampled outright before they can even scatter. There are documented cases of a single furious female flipping an attacking lion clean off the ground with one motion of her head, sending it tumbling through the air to land hard enough to end the confrontation on impact alone. Other females in the herd join within seconds, forming a second wave the pride never expected to face. Tusks and trunks, turning what looked like an isolated target into a coordinated counterattack. Most nights, that's the whole story. The pride retreats, licking new wounds in the darkness. Several members limping, none of them willing to press the attempt any further. The calf lives, pressed tight against her mother's legs for the rest of the long walk home. The herd moving as a single tightened unit for hours afterward. But not every night ends this way. On rare occasions, a calf that strayed too far from the herd, a bull already dying of age or injury and too slow to reach the safety of the group. The gamble pays off for the predator instead. The elephant isn't unbeatable because nothing can kill it. It's unbeatable because almost nothing on this reserve ever gets the chance to try twice against a herd that has already learned exactly what happened the first time and adjusts its formation accordingly for every night that follows. Not every rivalry in Kruger is about who can kill something. Sometimes it's about who gets to keep it once the killing is already done. A fight that plays out in silence long after the actual hunt has ended. And nobody in this park understands that fight better than the leopard. A leopard drops an impala in the tall grass along the Olifants River. Clean kill. Single bite to the throat, over in seconds. Barely a struggle. The easy part is already finished. The hard part starts now. Blood in the air travels fast, carried on whatever wind happens to be moving that evening. And within minutes, a hyena has already picked up the scent from more than a kilometer away. Nose lifted, changing direction without hesitation, breaking into a purposeful trot toward the source. Vultures overhead notice too, circling wider each time one drops lower for a closer look. The leopard doesn't wait to find out how many are coming. It grips the carcass by the neck and starts climbing. Nearly its own body weight drags straight up a marula tree. Hind legs pushing, forelegs pulling, muscles straining with every branch gained. Claws, finding purchase in bark worn smooth by countless kills, dragged up this exact route before. The whole ascent takes under a minute, the carcass finally wedged into a stable fork high enough that nothing without wings can reach it. Below, the hyena arrives seconds too late. Circling the trunk, jaws snapping at nothing but air. Frustration rising in that unmistakable cackling call that carries across the whole riverbank. It's the single habit that keeps leopards fed in a park, crawling with bigger, hungrier competitors, turning gravity itself into the only weapon a hyena can never overcome. No matter how badly it wants, what's hanging just out of reach directly above its own head. It doesn't always work. A kill made too far from cover. On ground too open for a fast retreat, sometimes gets claimed before the leopard even gets a proper grip on it. The extra seconds needed to reach a suitable tree proving fatal to the entire effort. Multiple hyenas working together have been documented stripping a leopard's kill in under 2 minutes, flat. Cat forced to watch from a safe distance with nothing to show for an entire evening's hunt. An entire night's worth of stalking and patience undone in the time it takes to boil a kettle. Younger, inexperienced leopards lose kills this way far more often than seasoned adults. Still learning exactly how much time a climb actually buys and how far from cover is simply too far to risk it at all. Territories closer to open riverbank tend to produce more of these losses than the denser bush further inland. A geography lesson every leopard here eventually learns the hard way. There's no revenge here, no second attempt tonight. Just a lesson filed away for the next kill. Climb faster next time. Choose better ground next time. Or don't bother killing at all in cover this exposed and this far from the nearest suitable tree. Climb high enough and a leopard escapes almost everything Kruger can throw at it. Wade into the wrong stretch of river, though, and even the animal that just refused to die for 3 lionesses finds something waiting that doesn't care how many horns it's carrying. A buffalo herd wades into the Crocodile River to drink, hooves sinking into soft mud at the water's edge. Heads dropping low without a second thought. The same routine repeated every single afternoon of the dry season. Nothing on the still surface gives away what's waiting 6 feet below. eyes barely breaking the waterline, body motionless against the riverbed for what might already have been hours. Patience running on a completely different clock than anything warm-blooded ever manages. The strike is silent. Jaws clamp onto a bull's muzzle with a bite force strong enough to shatter bone in a single motion. And unlike almost every other target on this river, Crocodile doesn't get the chance to let go once its jaws have found their mark and locked into place. This is where crocodiles usually win, not against this one. The bull doesn't panic. He plants his hooves and simply keeps moving forward, dragging nearly a ton of reptile through the shallows like dead weight, refusing to be pulled toward deeper water where the death roll would end this fight in seconds flat. Muscles locked and driving through the resistance one step at a time for several minutes. It's a straight contest of mass against grip. Crocodile's tail thrashing uselessly against mud that offers no traction at all, water churning brown around both animals. The jaw, built for locking on and holding still, was never built for losing a tug of war against something this heavy and this stubborn. An animal whose entire physiology simply refuses to register the situation as an emergency worth stopping for. Eventually, Crocodile lets go, not from mercy, from math. Holding on costs far more energy than it's worth against prey that refuses every single rule. The ambush strategy depends on to actually work in the crocodile's favor. Calculation that shifts the moment the target simply won't stop moving forward. The bull walks out bleeding, muzzle torn open, but alive, rejoining a herd that barely slowed its pace to wait for him. Within days, the wound will already be scarring over. One more mark on an animal built to absorb exactly this kind of damage and keep moving regardless of how deep the injury runs. It's one of the rare matchups on this entire river where raw mass beats a predator that hasn't needed to change its core strategy in over 200 million years. A reminder that even perfect design still loses sometimes to something that simply refuses to cooperate. With the script, the predator has been running successfully since long before mammals ever existed at all. Crocodile just learned mass can beat a perfect ambush, but there's one resident of this same river that doesn't need luck or size to win that same argument. It just needs the crocodile to remember every single time it gets tempted to forget exactly who water this actually is. Hippos and crocodiles share almost every pool in Kruger, sometimes within a few meters of each other. Basking and wallowing side by side under the same afternoon sun, and for most of the day, neither one so much as glances at the other. It looks like peace. It isn't, It's a truce built entirely on both sides, knowing exactly what breaking it would cost them. An adult hippo's bite can snap a crocodile clean in half without much effort at all. Jaws capable of opening well over a meter wide. Nobody tests that on purpose. Not even a crocodile confident in its own reputation elsewhere on this same river. The one exception is a calf. A crocodile drifting too close to a mother and her newborn crosses a line that erases the truce instantly. No warning given and none expected. There's no posturing, no slow escalation building up over minutes the way a territorial dispute might. Just a wall of muscle closing the distance in seconds. Jaws already open before the crocodile has finished registering the mistake it just made. Water exploding around both animals as the confrontation begins and ends almost simultaneously. Documented encounters describe adult hippos killing crocodiles outright in these moments, driven by nothing except a mother refusing to gamble with her calf's life for even a single second. An aggression that surfaces instantly and disappears just as fast once the threat has been dealt with completely. Bull hippos extend that same fury to territory alone. No calf required to trigger it. A crocodile that lingers too long in a stretch of water, a bull considers his own gets charged, regardless of whether it was ever actually a threat to anything at all. Purely for the crime of being present in the wrong stretch of river at the wrong time. These territorial disputes rarely end in a kill, the way a calf defense charge might. Usually a single display of aggression, jaws gaping wide in warning. Tusks flashing is enough to send the crocodile sliding back into deeper water without further argument. An animal that has learned exactly which fights are worth finishing and which ones aren't. Nothing here gets negotiated twice. The river belongs to whoever's willing to end the conversation fastest. And on this stretch of Kruger, that's never once been the crocodile. No matter how many other animals on this list have learned to fear it first, sometimes at enormous cost. 5 fights, 5 different rules, and one truth connecting every single one of them. Nothing in Kruger rules by default. Not the lion, not the leopard, not even the crocodile that hasn't had to change tactics in 200 million years. Every crown here gets tested over and over until something finally proves it wrong. And the ones still standing are the ones who learn to survive being wrong at least once, carrying the proof of it in scars, missing teeth, and torn ears for the rest of their lives. This is the real Kruger, not a hierarchy, but a running argument that never actually ends. He rewritten every single day along the same stretch of river and grass, with no final winner ever declared for good. If these collisions kept you watching until the last second, let us know in the comments which one hit hardest, and subscribe. Because tomorrow we're going lower down the food chain, into the rivalries nobody films. Wild dogs against hyena clans fighting over the same stretch of bush. Cheetahs against leopards competing for territory neither one can afford to lose. And a giraffe kick that's ended more than one lion's reign for good. Long before old age ever got the chance to.